Behalf of Operation Rock, it's been a few days, but I'm Clayton back and here to talk about domestic violence, prosecutorial misconduct, and victim rights. So I've been out for a couple of days, people, and you're probably wondering why. I have been out because I have been dealing with the continued legal issues I'm having, forgive me, with the woman who is stalking me. So it turns out, people, I have been denied justice. Due to prosecutorial misconduct, my offender, Francina Evans, was acquitted. She wasn't acquitted because she was innocent. She was acquitted because a corrupt prosecutor purposely withheld recordings of her brother Brenton Evans admitting she robbed me, text messages that I've showed online where she literally threatens me by telling me that if I don't return the business she and I own, that she would keep the property she stole, and other text messages where this woman definitively admits that she robbed me. People, the prosecutor's office of New Jersey not only locked me out the prosecution, but what they did was they never notified me they changed the prosecutor. So for the last 3 weeks, I have known nothing about the case. I'm suing the state of New Jersey now, the Essex County Prosecutor's Office, for $8 million. And that case has been filed, to which I set before a judge today. Thankfully, people, even despite the fact that my offender was acquitted, many people may remember that I made a live probably March. I think it's like March the 20th through the 25th. Basically, I was telling everyone how happy I was because of the offenses that my ex has done to me is going to guarantee me a check. Because, ladies and gentlemen, I have been horribly violated, not only by my ex. My ex is a small part of this equation now. She's just a broken-hearted, bitter loser. The truth of the matter is, I have been violated by law enforcement, by racist institutions like the Richmond County District Attorney's Office and like the Essex County Prosecutor's Office, who didn't respect my rights as a black man because I was a black man who was aggressive, who they didn't like as a marketable victim. So, this prosecutor, who has now been sued in connection to the state tort statute that I mentioned a week ago, which is 42 USC 1983, this prosecutor has been sued. She's been sued for extensive victim rights violations because the truth of the matter is, ladies and gentlemen, I learned today this lady is guilty as hell. She did all of them. The prosecutors of Essex County did everything in their power to let Francina off for that connection. And people, we can only assume why. The white man, Victor Brown, reached out to the white people in Essex County, and guess what happened, people? Injustice reigned. She was acquitted. But people, that's not the end of it. Because see, they still think that I'm an ignorant black man, and I don't know that I can file a 1976 to challenge what they just did. See, in accordance with victims' rights laws, unless it's prior to testimony, a victim is supposed to legally be allowed to attend every session of the prosecutorial process of his victim. I mean, of his defendant. So once I testified on March 20th, I was supposed to be allowed to come back to the trial. But people, the prosecutor's office barred me from the court for Francina Evans using AI to generate content that was not even me, people. I was brought to court for a page that's not even me. Clay Cop Caller, the YouTube channel of Francina Evans, I was brought to court to, and that case was dismissed today because the judge realized that the channel is not mine. People, this channel right here is the entire reason that my offender was let go. She was let off because of a channel that she manipulated, that she sent to the prosecutor's office, and a racist prosecutor who didn't like the fact that she was called a fat, racist, unethical bitch. She used that tape to lock me out of the prosecution and say I physically threatened her because I was making overtures to sue the Essex County Prosecutor's Office, which again, people, I've done. I filed an $8 million victims' rights violation lawsuit against the Essex County Prosecutor's Office. People, this is May. I did it the 27th of March, people. My lawsuit against the Essex County Prosecutor's Office has been in since the 27th of March. This woman filed her fictitious charge on me on the 29th. So, people, my lawsuit superseded the complaint filed by a felonious and unethical prosecutor. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm tired. But I realized that, again, like I've said, my problem is not Francina Evans. She is a problem, but she's not the main problem. The problem is corruption and bias in law enforcement. The problem is racism in law enforcement with white people and even people who are biased to strong minority men who allow their personal opinions and prejudices to affect the criminal justice process and the justice process for actual victims. I I am at a point in this situation, people, that I am beginning to see a lot. And people, I see the real problem is maybe this is my calling. Maybe this is what God has intended to give me the true purpose to run Operation Rock. Because people, you can't honestly be into charity if you don't have a legitimate passion for the charity. And people, this has given me a passion to fight for domestic violence and victims' rights like no one will believe. I have been infused with an energy that I have not had since I was a teenager. I have every intention on suing these people and using the proceeds to go back to school, to law school, hopefully. Because the truth is that the need for honest prosecutors that are minorities is great. People, ethics is a problem in law enforcement. Ethics is a problem in the law. With lawyers and prosecutors and cops are expected to be good, honest, uprighteous people. But the truth is they're not. They're people who are controlled by their own personal ambitions. And many times in life, the personal ambitions of people who are not ethically correct and who are not godly affect and hurt innocent people. And people, that's the case here, people. I was a victim. I was horribly lied to and violated by the Essex County Prosecutor's Office. People, I was falsely arrested and lied on and defamed by the Staten Island District Attorney's Office. And why is that? Because my black female mixed offender ex-girlfriend happens to be a more marketable victim than me. So people, just for the fuck of it, because they didn't like me, they violated my victim's rights and they tried to lie. The best advice I can give any man or any woman going through this is the power of keeping receipts. Don't let these people try to convince you you can't record them, especially if you live in something called a one-party state. There are certain states out there that you do not require the consent of the other party to record them. One of them is the state of New Jersey. This is why I've been able to use all of my recordings against Francina Evans, of her mother, her family, everything. Because people, I made those recordings in New Jersey. And under New Jersey state law, as long as I'm aware that the recording is happening, people, the recording is admissible. So I recorded this prosecutor lying through her teeth on multiple occasions, people, and that's what's going to crack her. Today in court, ladies and gentlemen, this lady was afraid to death I was going to parade those recordings because the recordings exposed the truth of the fact that she had been lying to me for over a year. Now, the judge didn't allow the recording in because it was a different matter, but the significance of the recording was highlighted because the recording admits to the fact that the prosecutor lied to me. And I was told I can use it in civil court. So despite the fact that my offender did get off, which honestly, people, it doesn't negatively affect me. I only care because I know she's going to file more false litigation on me and come after me. People, she's probably already started. That's really the only reason I care. But other than that, I don't care because every major wrong this woman does to me, that law enforcement just increasing my claims against the local prosecutor's office I'm suing. Island, I'm positive of that. And I got a great lawyer. His name happens to be Tyrone Blackburn. If anyone's been watching the news, he's involved in several high-profile lawsuits, and this guy has just accepted my retainer to sue Staten Island. So this will be great, people. I have an experienced federally seasoned lawyer who will be fighting the Essex and the Staten Island District Attorney's Office. I have enough discovery to prove it. So people, the only thing I have to do is stay out the way, make sure the racists don't set a trap for me by trying to put a false case on me, people, and wait to collect the check. Because as long as my offender has done the things she's done and I can prove it, people, I'm sitting pretty. Now, is it annoying? Yeah. Do I continue? Do I feel like continuing to go to court? Hell no, people. God, no, I don't feel like going to court. I wish this was over. But people, it'll never be over until I expose the injustice that's involved in the domestic violence process, people. And the truth of the matter is this: black male offenders, minority male offenders are horribly violated by law enforcement. Our rights are ignored. Our rights are not respected. We're ignored, and we are completely disregarded by the powers that be. And honestly, minority men out there, it's up to us to stick together to enforce the rights of the orders that we've been granted. Because law enforcement won't do it. Law enforcement doesn't care. Law enforcement looks at you like you're less than them, because the truth is that they aren't minorities. And that's not even the case with all of them, because some of them are minorities and they're just bigots. They think they're better than you because they got law enforcement jobs that makes them superior from arrest or prosecution. Now, the truth is, people, this doesn't mean that these law enforcement officers don't commit crime. They do commit crime. They just get away with it because they got badges and positions. People, we need to be smarter. We need to educate ourselves, and we need to fight malicious prosecution and unethical prosecutors. This is my mission. This is the purpose behind Operation Rocket. This is why I make these broadcasts, because I was a victim, horribly lied on by an ex-girlfriend and racist bigot prosecutorial systems who didn't like the true fact that I was the male offender. And that's wrong. No one chooses to be a victim. You're made a victim when someone victimizes you. The worst part about that is when law enforcement refuses to acknowledge your victimhood because of your sex or your skin color. That's wrong. On behalf of Justice and Operation Rock, people, this is Clayton, and I fight every day, and I'm going to continue to fight the bigots and racists who have wronged me. Thank you for listening. Like, share, and follow.